they have a need for attention, and with that need for attention, they go a little bit overboard, and now they have trouble fitting through doors, and like it just gets nothing ends up becoming, nothing ends up being good enough. But there's a lot of women that are flat chested, and they're not doing it to impress another man, but they like the way they look with a certain breast size, so they get implants, they get a BBL that's proportionate to their figure. Those types of things that have the things that are not related to doing it for the pleasure of another person. I think that is a little bit more on the healthy side. But in terms of what men tend to go for, I can't speak for all men, but I feel like a lot of men that go for the BBL look, it is because of that extreme look and the curiosity of what it would be like to have sex with that woman.
Body shaper, the toner body snatcher came today. I'm going to show you guys how it looks on. Okay, this is what I'll be wearing today. I'll be putting my body shaper on. I know I got booty already, but I'm trying to give more hips, more butt, Hey guys, so get into it. I'm in my Tina Turner body shaper, and as you can see, you could barely tell where it starts. Here it goes. It blends really well with my skin. It adds good definition to my hips and butt. And look how small it made my waist. It added way more hips. Look at it from the side. Looks good. Here's the back. It added a lot more butt. It's really comfortable. You can't even tell that I have it on. You can't tell how high it goes. It sucks all of this in. Okay, so overall, I'm in love with this shaper. It's added so much and it looks so good. It's so comfortable. It's not too hot. It's not too tight. As you can see, this is the body shaper without the clothes on. Still looks good. Blends really well with my skin complexion. As you can see, it does have a hole in between for the restroom when you need to use the restroom without taking it off. You just...
Woo! That is so funny.
Reactions,
So funny.
ladies, please. The body dysmorphia.
No, ma'am.
With Black women and these BBLs and not valuing their natural body. What is going on?
I hate to blame social media for it, but social media is the cause of so much insecurity and so much everything. Like everybody feels like they have to fit a certain type of look. And I mean, she about to put on a whole ass suit to feel cute. Like that's crazy. Why? Like I would rather, and I can't really speak because like I've been blessed top and bottom. I'm a curvier woman, whatever, but I don't know what it feels like to feel like that. But I promise you, I'm not putting no ass suit on. I would rather be out here with no cheeks than to put on an ass suit. That's just me personally. Like,
so it's definitely not just Black women. It's not. There are a whole lot of women, like Hispanic women, are infamous for BBLs. I think that may have been where it started.
Oh.
White women are doing it. Like it's not just Black women.
Why
right?
are we falling
And it's also not just social media, because there was also the trend of like really petite women that came in the magazines, and I think it's just media in general. And I think women will go to great lengths under the knife or otherwise, depending on their finances, to appease the male gaze. And that's not a bad thing, right? I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to be attractive to the person you're attracted to.
it is if you're putting your life in danger.
Yeah, but I think there's like reasonable limitations, right? Like there's that self-worth and like real confidence in yourself that like being who you are and how you look is enough. Like men are not a monolith. Not all men enjoy the BBL body. Not all men enjoy the petite woman. Not all men enjoy like there are so many men that have different types that are attracted to different things, that there is going to be someone out there that is attracted to you as you are, but I think that women are gaslit into like this operating from a space of lack. Like, how many times do you hear there are so many more women than men? Like, you're either going to have to be a polygamist, or you're going to be okay with a cheater, or you got to be somebody you're not to wind up with somebody, right? I think there's so much propaganda that like we're taught that just being you isn't enough, right? And so women do things like this because they've internalized it.
And I hear what you're saying, but you said that social media doesn't have a lot to do with it. Even we can go back before social media was a big thing. Magazines, there was always something that showed some photographic image of what beauty was, whether it's blonde hair, blue eyes. Back in the day when women were wearing corsets, squeezing their fucking organs together just to have this small waist and this illusion, like it's always going to be something, and people are going to follow what they see. So, and what do you see on social media, or even just Fashion Nova, whatever you're shopping? All these women have the same damn body type. They got the same duck lips, they got the same titties, they got the same butt. They're all getting
these Kardashians done gave them a little,
I was just thinking about that because before the BBL, before the public knew about BBLs and Brazilian butt lifts and stuff like that, it was the waist shapers. Everybody thought, if I get a waist shaper, I'm gonna look like Kim. When really,
I'm a bag of rich guy. I'm gonna have a small waist, cute face.
Yeah, it was definitely social media that has pushed it. I know people personally who went and got a BBL, and I'm like, yo, you can't tell them nothing. And then they get addicted to it. They get addicted. This woman obviously had a nice butt, a big butt, but she didn't feel like it was enough because it didn't look like the women from Instagram. So she needed her hips to be wide along with her butt. And she felt like she needed to add on and create this illusion. And I'm pretty sure she's not going to go on no first date with it because she knows that a man's going to be like, what happened? But she's going to take photos on Instagram and post them to the gram for validation.
So I have a question for Nelson. I heard something the other day, and I'm curious to get the male perspective on this. So I heard that with social media, that it's more so that these women the BBL women are typically showing more skin. And that's what's attracting men. And it's not necessarily the body type. And so it's giving women the wrong impression that men are all lusting after the same body type. So can you give us some insight on that?
That's actually an interesting question. I personally feel like the men are more interested in the BBL look. I mean, that you can, with a lot of women, you can tell when something is altered, and it looks, to be honest, it just, a lot of men look at those types of women and look at those unique shapes that come with a BBL as just fun. You don't take them seriously. You have fun with them. You don't, they're not, they would never get into a serious relationship with that person. So I think looking natural is, even if you get a BBL that is more natural, I think what's happening with a lot of women is they're going way overboard. Instead of wanting, being okay with a moderate level of attention that's given to them, they have a need for attention. And with that need for attention, they go a little bit overboard, and now they have trouble fitting through doors, and like it just gets, nothing ends up being good enough. But there's a lot of women that are flat chested, and they're not doing it to impress another man, but they like the way they look with a certain breast size, so they get implants, they get a BBL that's proportionate to their figure. Those types of things that have the things that are not related to doing it for the pleasure of another person, I think that is a little bit more on the healthy side. But in terms of what men tend to go for, I can't speak for all men, but I feel like a lot of men that go for the BBL look, it is because of that extreme look and the curiosity of what it would be like to have sex with that woman.
Exactly. Hey, and I've actually seen a woman, she was a hairstylist, and she was saying the majority of the women whose hair she does, the women with the BBLs are not getting married. Like, they're having issues. They're out here still dating. And the other women, you could be a plus size woman, you could be a petite woman, whatever it may be. These women are getting married, and more so, the women who have BBLs are just kind of getting played with. They're not getting married. So, I mean, I would agree with him based off what she said, because it's like, is it just like a fun look? Like, dang, that looks like a lot of fun.
Think about it from a guy's standpoint too. Like, why would we want to go out somewhere with a woman knowing that her butt is going to get all this attention because it's so unnatural? Like that, it's an embarrassment.
I think too. What
walk
happens
around like it's a trophy.
Yeah, toxic men, baby.
Yeah, because let me just tell you this. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and not one person outside of a black woman had a butt. And when I say the butt was not there, it was not even in.
It was inverted.
You couldn't tell the difference.
All of a sudden, I guess butt booties come in the jeans. Like all of this popped out because of the time.